Hi guys, and welcome to this video. This is Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. Well, here's a continuation of our one-page Bootstrap site build. We're going to continue with our About section here. Last time we did all this here with our glyphicons. I'm just going to add another paragraph underneath it and a responsive image. So let's go ahead and get started. We open up our bracket software that we're using to edit our text. If you don't have it, there's a link below this video. It's a free download. Okay, this is what we had last time. Here's our little 4 columns, or 3 columns of 4. And I want to do another section down underneath those of some paragraph text and a responsive image. So to do that, I want to create another row, and then we can just type it out here, or I can copy this across. Remember, if you click on the opening div, it'll show you the closing div. So if we just copy all of that, we're keeping it within our container here, but we're just creating another row, and we'll drop down one there and just paste that in there. Okay. We'll get rid of everything below that first little container there. In fact, I'll keep 2 of them because I'm going to make it 2 columns within our row this time. And if you can remember from last time, if we have 2 columns, let's just tidy this up. It's got to be 12 divided by 2, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. Again, last time I checked it was anyway. So we make that 6 and 6, that's going to be 2 columns. I'll just show you, I'll just save that and update our site there, and we should have 2 identical columns underneath our, here we should now have 2 columns underneath here when I refresh. You see, it's made those 2 columns, but that's not what we want. That was just to show our 2 columns of 6 there. We can delete all this because I don't want any of that. I'll keep the P there because I'm going to do a paragraph text there, just an introductory sort of paragraph to the company and what have you. I'm going to get rid of all of this in that particular section there. I don't want that as the information now. I'm going to call it text left, which will align all our text to the left in Bootstrap. And I'll put some more dummy text in here, a paragraph or so. Get the right one. It's this one right here. There we go. I've got a span tag in there. Let's just get rid of that. I'll put that back in a minute and show you what I'm doing with that. Okay, so we've got a paragraph of text there. And in this other div, I want to put an image. So we open some tags. I call it image, img. That's what is the short for an image. Don't need a space there. Then I've got to give it a class equals, and I'm going to call it image responsive, which is img. The responsive means that it'll resize when we resize the screen, so that's really important. I don't want it to display center block, so now I've got to tell it where to get the image from. So if I just put a source, src, and then equals, and it's in our images folder. So if I go back in between those inverted commas, I can select it from there, or I can type it in. And I've put, if I show you, I'll just drag my folder over here. I put an image in my image folder here. I've just called it camera 1. So there it is right there, camera 1, and that's the one I actually want there. So I can select that one. If I mouse over it, it should show me that image, just to confirm that we've selected the correct one there. All images, what do they need to have? They need to have an alt tag. And you can either put in whatever this is, or you can put in some keyword for your business or to optimize your SEO. Okay, so now I need to close that tag. Now when we go back after I've saved it, Control S, and update this, we should have some paragraph text on the left hand side here, and we should have an image on the right hand side here. There we go. Well, it's kind of what we want, but we need to style this, don't we? Because this is not quite where we want it, and this is way too large. So let's go and give these a few classes so we can work on them with some CSS. Go back to our brackets, back to our index HTML. Okay, I want to give this whole column a class. Let's call it, say, about one, AB1 perhaps. And let's give this paragraph text a class of its own as well. And we'll just call it text dark because it's that dark text, isn't it? And do a quick save. Let's go back to our site a minute. I think I might want to add a little bit more text here. Let's just go back to the site and have a look. Yeah, I want to put at least another little column of text underneath here. So let's go back there. And we'll take some of this text here, perhaps from there to there. Well, if we just take the whole thing from beginning P tag to the end of the P tag there, and drop it down one, paste it in. I'll just take off a bit of this text here. Obviously you'll have some written script for your site here, but I'm doing this for aesthetics to make it look a bit better. Quick save, back to the site. Yeah, that's going to fill it out a bit more. I'm going to shrink that down slightly and perhaps have a call to action button down here. Okay, so let's look at this. There's our text dark right there. And we want to make it bigger, I think. So I think we were using font size of 16 pixels. Yep, that looks like the about right size. And we want to give it a little padding. I'll just give it one attribute. It'll be the same all around. So 10 or 15 pixels, I should think, to make it line up with that stuff above. A little bit more than that. Let's say, let's try 15. Yeah, that works. 15. Seems to be in line with our little boxes above there. So let's just copy that. We've got to create our little class there of text dark. So back to our brackets, to our CSS, dot text dark, open a curly bracket, and I just pasted in what we copied just there from the browser window. And I've got an extra bracket on there, don't want that. Quickly save that. Back to our site. I refresh, and both of those should do that because they've both got the same class there. Or at least I think they have. Yep, there we go. Okay. And this whole section right here, we gave it AB1. That AB1 looks to be in the wrong place. I think I want it on the row and it's not inside our inverted commas there. So let's go back and fix that. Yep, that's in the wrong place there. Put Put it inside our bracket, inside our inverted commas right there is where it needs to be. Now we can add some padding or what we need to add to it. There we go, and I want to drop that down by about 50 pixels or so, I should think. Yeah, that works for me. So if I just copy that and back to our style sheet, and I'll put that into the style sheet there. And save that. Let's give our image a class here as well. I'll just call it image right because it's on the right. Image R, let's just call it image R. I'll save that. We can do a bit of padding with that individually as well. So back to our site. Quick refresh. Select our image here. Image R. Let's give it some padding. Say 15 or 20 pixels, I should think. Just give it the one attribute so it'll be all round. Okay, that's shrunk it down nicely. Now I want to drop it down some, so I'm going to give it some margin in the top here. Probably 50 pixels as well. Let's have a look. Yep, that's perfect. Yeah, that's starting to shape up nicely there. So I'll just copy those. And back to our CSS style sheet. And it was image R, wasn't it? And we've got an extra curly there. Make sure we take that one off. Quick save. Back to the site. It shouldn't change. I think what I'll do here is let's make this a little more interesting looking. Let's make some of this text red here and some of this here. I'll actually delete a bit of this text here because I want to put a call to action button down here somewhere. So let's go back to the HTML. Delete some of this. Probably almost delete from where we copied before. And let's put a span there. And put some of this text inside that span, say that much. Just cut it, Control X, and paste it inside there. Now let's do the same thing here, just for interest value. Okay, so I've put those spans in there, and what I want to do, the reason I put that there, I want to affect this text that's within those spans separately from everything that's in this text start class here. So if we go back to our CSS, I'll save it first, Control S. Now that's within our text dark, so I'm going to put it just below there. I'm going to call it .text dark span, and then open, close some curly brackets there. Now we can affect this separately. Now I want the same font size, but I want that nice red color that we had before, or that we've been using throughout the scene. So I've got it copied over here in a little notepad. Let's put that in there. And I also want it to be a little bit heavier, so I'll put font weight of bold, font bold, semicolon. Now let's save that and go back to our site here. Do a refresh. Now those bits of text that we put within that span should turn red and become bold, and also that bit that we erased should disappear. There we go. Just gives it a little bit more interest for the eye there. So that's looking a little bit more like it. Now what I'd like to do is put a call to action button down here. If I get rid of that, probably like learn more. That, in fact, that actual button we'll put down there, and that's real easy to do because we can just copy it from the top there, make sure it goes to the right place. I wanted to go to our contact us page, or contact us section I should say. So if we go back to our index.html and go up to where those buttons were, they were in our hero section. Here they are, right here. There's the learn more one. Just going to copy that right there, Control C, back down to just after our closing paragraph right there. Drop down one, paste that in there. At the moment the href, or the link, is going to the about section. I wanted to go to the contact section now, but I was still wanting to say learn more. Or you know, you can have it say whatever you want, just type it in there. Okay, button default, that looks good. We may have to adjust it with a bit of CSS, but let's do a quick save and back to the site. And a refresh, our little button should appear right there. There we go. And it's almost exactly where we want it. I just need to push it slightly over to the right here. And it looks about right. I'll push it way over to the right to line it up with this image here. So if I just inspect that, and let's give it a bit of margin on the left to push it right. Let's just float it right for a minute, see whether it's high enough. Yeah, it just wants to come down a little bit. So let's have a look. Margin top, about 5 pixels, looks like, something like that. That looks about there. It's actually 15 pixels. That wasn't a very good guess, was it? So what if we take it down, say 12 pixels? That looks pretty much bang on to me. Maybe a little one, maybe too much. That'll do for the minute. Okay, let's just take that float right off, put it back where it was. We need to push it over by about 10 or 15 pixels. So I want to margin left. Of about 15 pixels. We'll try that, see what it looks like. I think that's pretty much bang on. So I'm happy with that. So we'll just copy those two attributes there and go back to our scrolling nav CSS, and again we'll put it just down below here because it's going to be the link. If we look back, we're actually in that section there, AB1, and it's the A, it's the anchor tag right there. So it'll be AB1 or .AB1A. So let's do that. Just put it down below our regular AB1 there. Okay, I want to put a dot in there. It will not work. And then A for anchor text. And paste in what we just had there. And when I copied it, I've done it several times in this video, I've copied that bottom curly bracket there, so we want to make sure you take off that last one. It's going to cause problems. Okay, let's just save that and back to the site. Save that, get the inspector out of the way. So I think that'll do it for our little section there. Just make that sure that takes us down to our contact section. Yep, that works fine. While we're here, let's just check it out on the mobile version, make sure that it's gonna work on smaller devices. What have we got? 6+ here. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. We may decide to change a few things later on, but at the moment I'm quite happy with the way that about section is looking on mobile device. We can always push that to the middle if we want to later on, but that's working. So there we are. That is the about section for you. Thanks for watching. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. If you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.